Hello, everybody, and welcome to the secret, or not so secret, history living inside your aquarium. So, we have fish from all over the world entering our aquariums, and there's so many choices. This here is a 40-gallon bowfront aquarium, and you can see I like rainbow fish, I like tetras, I like angelfish. They're all lovely fish, but what I mostly keep in this tank, other than the plecos, the angelfish, and some cribensis, and the cribensis, I don't know where they. Oh, there's one right there. They are in this tank for grow out. So other than that, everything else is nano, and I figured it was a good place to start and count down some of my favorite combinations of nano fish. So while we're at it, let's start the countdown, and I'm gonna say kind of in numbers together. So like I'll take 3 fish that are great in combination with one another, and that will count as one, and then we'll go from there. So I think that these reed tetras, as well as Habrosus corridoras, which almost look identical, same size and everything, except the corridoras usually hang out somewhere hiding around, or they'll come up and join. But that's why I like them. They join and they school together, and they look just beautiful. They're very subtly kind of silvery blue gray color, and the Corridoras are a little more matte colored than metallic, whereas these guys have a nice metallic look to them. And in combination with them, I think it looks just superb to throw these guys in. These are kitty tetras. And the males tend to have kind of an orange eye on half their eye, and then they've got yellow and red and orange in their fins as they get older and color up. These are the ones I got from Aquatic Arts, by the way, on the unboxing video, so you can see how much they've colored up. A lot of times when you buy fish online, they don't color up right away, but these guys have, even the females are this nice gold color, and I would say those 3 fish go together really well. So that is my first combo. My second combo would be taking these little guys, and these are called Rasbora, and they were almost extinct at one point. In 1996, nobody had seen them for 10 years, and it was ruled that they were extinct. Nobody had seen them in the wild, and it didn't sound like anybody had them in captivity that was known either. However, a shipment in 2006 came in of all sorts of Rasboras, and these ones came in from Thailand, and they have this lovely peach metallic and gold metallic. Sometimes you even see like a green, so it goes from orange and gold to like this green, all the way to a peach. It's really, if you look at that fish, it's a really interesting fish. They're very small. They're quick enough that they get away from any big display fish that you have, but they're not shy. They hang out in the front and on top of things. So they're a great fish to pair with a lot of nano fish. But what I like to pair them best with are these guys. So ember tetras, the orange guy down there. So you've probably seen ember tetras. They're nice and affordable. You get a school of 10, 15, 20. Put them in a good sized tank. You get the Somfongsi Rasboras, which are a little more difficult to track down, but they're totally worth it. So then you've got the peach and the orange kind of playing off each other. And then I like to put in these guys. So these are neon black neon tetras, and they're a little bigger. They've got a little more bulk to them, but they school very tightly, and they can be a bit nippy if you have guppies with too long of fins. But I've made this list and kind of am showing you tank by tank to show that it's not always the case that they're going to get picked on. Sometimes it happens, but even with the wavy flounciness of this tail on these guppies, they're all working. And the other thing about this list that I hope you'll kind of see as we go forward, here comes some more of those kitty tetras, is that they're all interchangeable. All these fish will get along side by side, so you can mix and match any of the variations I've mentioned. So that's another great thing. So that's the number 2 combo on the list. Number 3, I'm going to say pick your favorite endler or guppy. And for me, I love these wild style Silverado endlers. And then I also love these. These were bred originally by Lucas Bretz, and now I've had them for long enough that I think I'm 12 generations in, and I've got a few variations of them with different tails. But these are rainbow tiger endlers. So underneath that yellow and black, there is actually a metallic kind of gasoline shimmer. And I think it's great to put 2 male endler species together. And I think it's, or not species, but styles. The female, there's only 2 females in this tank, I believe, at this moment. And the females are not necessary. Actually, they can incite more nipping and things like that. So they're great for a small tank. They stay much smaller than the females. And I mean, even though they're seen as common guppies and endlers, they just make up a beautiful fish, that really moves around the tank, and I think they're a great fish. So I would say get a combo of some males, leave the females out of it, because you don't want a million of them. Here's another style that I've been breeding, playing with, that's purple and blue and orange with some black on it. I haven't named that one yet, but there's a tank of them downstairs. So get your 2 males, and then what I would do is I would pick a Coridora. So some sort of panda Coridora, or I really like some of the ones with color, like the Venezuela one is really great. The Corydoras venezuelas, that's a nice one. Just something that utilizes the bottom of the tank a little more would be the 3rd piece in that puzzle. And if you're working in like a 5-gallon or 10-gallon nano, then maybe you want to use 3 to 5 endlers and guppies up top of just males, and down below you can have some sort of cleaning fish, like maybe you want to use an autosynclus, or get a little interesting and use, I'm serious, this is its name, the RoboCop. It's an orange autosynclus that hangs out on the bottom. You could also get a Gara, like a panda Gara here. They used to be called rainbow Garas at one point also. But they're just a really beautiful fish that'll help you with the algae, and they'll kind of hang out at the bottom, and they kind of leap around logs and things and rocks, and they're just entertaining. So that's a combo that's great. Now I'm going into number 4, which is, you see these little CPDs back here? Those are celestial pearl Danios with the orange fins, pardon the algae back there, the orange fins, and the beautiful dots on them. And again, we have the Somfongzi Rasboras hanging out with them. And so I'm going to bring those, I love these Somfongzi Rasbora so much that I'm going to bring it back in, and I'm going to say that this is another great fish to put with Celestial Pearl Danios, which are just these nice little teeny fish. They look like baby rainbow or brook trout, maybe. You see them? That's a full-grown female right there. And so some of them have more yellow fins than orange fins. And right here is the next fish, which I will controversially pair with that, which would be the erythromicron. Now, a lot of people will say, don't pair erythromicrons with the Celestial Pearl Danio, because they are from the same area, and they are probably very closely related in that when they mix together, these striped ones, these are called erythromicrons, or emerald rasboras, emerald dwarf rasboras is what you might find them as, other than erythromicrons. And they get along really well, especially with a rasbora, small rasbora of any sort. You could use Phoenix rasbora or Chili rasbora instead of the Somfongzi that I'm showing you guys here. I also have Chili rasboras that are hiding up in there somewhere. But they go together really well, and yes, they will hybridize. So the CPDs and the emerald dwarf Rasbora, which is actually a Danio, they will potentially have babies together and mix. However, just don't sell that or reintroduce that to the wild as something that it's not. But that's my stance on when you are interbreeding things. Now, you can see here, I love shrimp. In fact, right now I'm doing an experiment where I moved all of my algae-eating long-nose and short-nose shrimp up to this tank to clean it. No amano shrimp, just 3 other kinds of shrimp. So these aren't fish, but this is my number 5 combo, which is going to be 3 types of shrimp. So you can actually have 3 different species of shrimp that can all reproduce and make you money if you're trying to do that in your tank. So this is called the short-nose algae-eating Japanese shrimp. And its name, I think, is Parperapedentis. It's Caridina parperapedentis, which is a mouthful. And it's just a really cool little algae eater. And while we see him here, these purple tetras, another one of my favorite small fish. You pair those up with some ember tetras, and you got this beautiful bluish purple, sometimes even like a gunmetal greenish gray comes out. You see that? Pair that up with those ember tetras, or even those the kitty tetras that I showed you, and those will just set off your tank beautifully. I know that's a little out of order, and we just talked about other fish, but hey, I got to work with who's showing up to work today, you know? I guess I'm not paying well enough, and they're all coming at different times. So get yourself an algae species of shrimp, bamboo shrimp if you want a big one with big fan arms, and then get yourself some neocaridina. They're very versatile. They're great shrimp. They come in every color in the rainbow, basically. Here we've got blue dreams. They're just hanging out, swimming all over the place. You can see them hanging out up here too. So those are blue dream shrimp. They're neocaridina. So get yourself a neocaridina, whether that's red cherry shrimp or yellow sakura. Check out the neocaridinas with an algae-eating shrimp that is going to eat either from the water column or right off of big chunks of algae, whereas the neocaridina will kind of eat whatever's available. It's kind of eating off biofilm. And here's another close-up of that short-nose algae-eating shrimp, which I got these from Aquatic Arts also. And as you know, I work with them pretty frequently with stocking. Look how much algae he eats. I work with them pretty frequently stocking my tanks, and there is information in link down below to how you can get a discount on pretty much all of these fish they carry or have carried in the recent past if they're not carrying now, and they'll probably carry in the near future. So just so you know, there's a link below for 15% off and a drawing for more prizes up to $500. So while we see him, I'm so glad he made an appearance, because number 6 on the list is going to be this multi-striped loach, and these guys are awesome. They just they lay pretty low unless you get a good group of them. So I'm going to recommend them for a larger nano tank, and say that you should get something around 10 to 20 gallons for them, but they'll live in a 5-gallon in a pinch, and it's no problem. So I really like those, and I would pair them up as that bottom fish in a combo like I was talking about, where you've got guppies that utilize the top or rasboras that utilize the top, and you need something on the bottom. So the third shrimp that was in that combo at number 6 is this guy here, which is the Malawa shrimp, and they're just a great Indonesian little shrimp. And you can see that a lot of shrimp like them that live in a wide range of parameters. They're not as flashy, but they do reproduce at a crazy rate, which I think is great for money and also just for eating algae, hanging out, and doing their thing. So that's kind of fun. Then the number 7 and 8 spot are actually going to go more towards micro or nano ponds. And that is, get yourself some rice fish. They're called Medaka fish, technically. And some of these new, they're beautiful. Some of these new guppies that have patterns. So like the panda guppy or these koi guppies. There's also a koi albino guppy that have these patterns that are designed to be viewed from above. They're coming out of Asia. They're kind of a trend, but I really love it. You can have a six inch deep, nice shallow tank on your table or something that's, you know, maybe 10 gallons, and they're just fine in that size tank. Oh, here we go. Here comes the chili rasbora. Just late of queue. So that was the one I was talking about earlier when I said it was hiding. All right, so now that combo of those fish, you're going to need some sort of algae eater, even though these guys will eat some algae. So I would recommend, if you've got space for it, a small bristlenose pleco or something like that, as well as some neorite snails or maybe shrimp, although the babies will probably get munched on by rice fish or guppies. It's just a matter of providing them enough hiding places, and they'll be fine with enough hiding spots. So that is going to be the 7th and 8th spot, depending on how you'd want to spin that together. And now let's head on downstairs and take a look at our last spots, 9 and 10 for my combos. As I said, not a hard and fast list. This is a list of fish that, for me, they've been very easy to keep. Shrimp, fish, and animals that are all interchangeable, and I really suggest you guys try keeping them in a planted or nano style tank. And that is to say, not a small tank necessarily, but a tank that has small fish under 2 inches in it. All right, so let's head downstairs and see what rounds out the list. Come with me, you will see my fishy fishery. Okay, so down here, the next combo, I'm gonna say, get yourselves some Corydoras. So here we have a stir-by Corydora with the little bronze. Well, actually, that's a hybrid. Sorry, guys. Here is a panda Corydora, and he's looks like a panda. He's striped black on 2 spots, and then he's got that black fin. We'll see more of them in just a sec, I'm sure, as they are all over this tank. They love to breed, and they're very social fish. So get them in a group, and they'll be a great fish for you. But as I was saying, get some Corydora. Find one that you like. There are 800 and some species and variants. You will find one that you like. See, here comes the panda. So that would be another option. And then I'm going to show you guys these Danios. So these are Pantheri Danios. They have stripes that go, they go vertically up by their head, and then dots on the back of their tail, all with a metallic bronze spine and a purple and blue shimmer to them. Plus, they're just really active. So if you have a bigger tank like this 40 breeder, they're absolutely wonderful to watch. Now, they can be a little bit nippy if they're not in a group, so make sure you keep them in a group. And they get a little larger in that they are probably 1.5 inches at tops for size. They go great, and the combo I'm going to recommend is with this Tin Winnie or Gold Ring Danio right here. So you get the 2 Danios so that they can keep each other occupied. And then down below, you see you've got also the Cory option. But let's take a look over here at some other options. I love these ruby tetras. So I think a great choice is these ruby tetras to go with those Danios up top, because these guys like to stay down low generally. They'll hang out nice and low in your tank, and they'll have a nice red color, and they work well. I would say the Danios aren't as shrimp safe as other fish, so be careful on that one. So here we go. This is a Trilineatus Cory, just showing you more options from when I said Corydoras. And they are so peaceful. They get along great. I've got a group of 8 of them in here, and they are just happy as can be. Here's more of those, a different style with a blue tail. of those tiger slash leopard endlers. So I would highly recommend getting that combo of the Danios and then the reed tetras. For my last recommendation, get yourself some of these white cloud minnows, which are beautiful. They're red. They go well in a pond. You could put them in that combo if you had a pond. Here's a nice female. She's all full of eggs. And they make long fin versions too. But get yourself those, and you can interchange them with that pond combination I was talking about, with the Medaka rice fish and with the snails and the guppies that look well from on top, because they all can withstand colder climates. They're subtropical fish, and they don't actually like being super hot around 80 degrees. They like being cooler than that. So I'm going to recommend these guys as one of the parts of the last combo. But if you're keeping them inside, keep them with these blue axelrod or green axelrod. There's two different kinds, and honestly, stores sell them interchangeably, so you're gonna get whatever your local store has. You're gonna get what you're gonna get. But it's just a little different than the cardinal tetra or a neon tetra, in that these guys are blue and green, and they've just got a nice metallic look on them, with a little bit of a pink belly that changes colors as they get excited and worked up. And you know, your mountain minnows will hang out up top, and your Sundadiano axelrod eyes, these guys, the blue Danio or blue Rasboras, sorry guys, will look great. In pairing with them, I would recommend that you pick something like something small again. So you could use something like a ruby tetra or an ember tetra. But I figured that I would show you guys something a little bit novel, which is the panda loach. These guys are rare, and you're gonna have to tailor the tank to them. But they also like cooler waters. And even though those blue axelrod Rasboras like warm water, they do just fine in 72 degree water. So get yourself a tank that's 72 degrees or so, and you can throw in these guys. They work well with shrimp in the tank also, as you can see. And I just really like them. I think they're really fun, and they look just great. Also, to throw them out there on the list as a free gimme for this list, I know I've thrown a few in there, is going to be your puffer fish. So your pea puffer, they are just so darn cute. We'll have to find where the heck they're hanging out right now today. And, you know, what I want to encourage you guys to do on this list is get weird. Mix things up. Peaceful fish. With these puffers, don't do what I'm doing. Get them in a species-only tank. For most people, that's what I'm going to recommend. But a group of pea puffers, 5 or 6 of them in a little colony in a 10-gallon tank or 15-gallon tank, and they'll do great. Now, why can't I find the pea puffer? He was just oh, there he is. He's right in front of us. He was just hanging out. They look just like one of the big puffers. All the personality, pretty much, but they're little and tiny. You're going to need to feed them snails, so having some sort of ram's horn snail in your tank, a population established before you put them in, not a bad idea. They're colorful, their markings are fun, and they are very meticulous, and they move around with a lot of intentionality. I really like them. Same with these ruby tetras. They move and they stop, they move and then they stop. So the reason I've made these kind of odd combinations of nano fish to put together all 10 of these, or more like 15 combinations, is out of just an interest of movement and utilizing different spaces in the tank. So let me know what you think would go together. Let me know if you think some of my suggestions are insane, and most of all, let me know what you're keeping that's a weird combination that you think works really well and looks really good in your planted tank or nano tank. All right, guys, please like if I earned it, subscribe if I earned it, click the subscribe bell ringer if I even earned that, and other than that, take care of yourselves. Check out the links in the page description below. And I will talk to you next time. Take care of your tanks, the people around you, and it will give a whole lot back to your life. So swim on, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.